fuck? It's hot. I want to finish this video so I can turn the air conditioning back on. Hey y'all, it's me, Cecilia. Welcome back to my channel. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing the infamous, I don't know if it's infamous, but the very popular around this time of year, mid-year book freakout tag. So I don't remember who this tag was created by, but it's just something that pretty much all booktubers do just to kind of update ourselves on how our goals are going so far, since I'm filming this on pretty much the day it goes up. So we'll see how this goes. Currently, I am exactly halfway through my Goodreads reading goal. I've read 50 books this year. God damn it. Last year I read 70 or 75. So, god damn. Just goddamn. Just goddamn. Number 1 is best book you've read so far in 2019. And I have 2 options for this. First one I read at the beginning of the year in January, and I fell in love with this book. And I still constantly think about it. It's out by Natsuno Kirino. You guys are probably tired of me talking about this book, but it's so amazing. Basically, this book is a thriller slash horror. It starts teetering into the horror territory. So we have these 4 women. They all work at this bento box factory, and they all are different walks of life, all of different ages. This takes place in Japan, I believe in the early 90s, late 80s. I'm not exactly sure it's the exact year off the top of my head. But all 4 of these women, they get wrapped up in this whole plot. I don't want to spoil too much for you guys, but it's so good. The characters feel real and nicely fleshed out. Nobody is purely safe or innocent, and it's just so good and refreshing. I don't know. I really, really love this book. The sequel I really want to read, but it's not translated in English. Get on that shit. Just get on that shit. It's so good. I highly recommend that book. Second one that you guys, if you watched my last video, my April to June wrap up, you would have seen this book and how much I fucking love it. So I'm just gonna not talk about it too much here, but still. It's We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faizal. This book, fucking fantastic. I have deserved it as one of my favorite books of this year. Alright, so this book, where if you don't know exactly what happens in this book, is that we follow 2 characters. We have Zafira, who basically goes undercover as a man, as the hunter, and she hunts in this magical forest called the Ars that it's very dangerous to basically feed her village. And one day she's given an opportunity to leave the village to go find this magical book and bring magic back to her lands. And our second protagonist is Nazir, who is nicknamed the Prince of Death. He is the prince to the Sultan, and he's basically a assassin, which is an assassin, and he goes through and starts killing people. And yeah, this book is so good. He's also tasked with killing the hunter and taking the magical book for himself. And this book is so good. I love all the characters. Zafira, Nazir, Altair, Benjamin. They're all so fucking amazing. And it's just, I love this book so much. I love it. Y'all need to read it. Y'all need to read it. I swear to God. If you don't, I'm coming to you. I'm coming for you. Number 2 is best sequel you've read in 2019. I actually haven't read a lot of sequels, but the one I would have to say is The Runaway King by Jennifer A. Nielsen. This is the 2nd book in the Ascendance trilogy, which is such a good series. And this book was so fucking good. This series is just amazing. It's like YA fantasy series, and I love it so freaking much. Number 3 is a new release you haven't read yet. And I actually have it right here. I have the ARC copy of it, which I found randomly, and it's Going Off Script by Jen Wilde. This book came out in May of this year, and I haven't read it yet. I've heard really great things about Jen Wilde's writing style, so I'm curious about it. Basically, we follow this 17-year-old girl named Bex, and she wants to basically write TV shows, and she actually gets an internship at her favorite TV show. So this internship is not exactly as she thought it would be. She's basically just like getting everybody coffee and that kind of stuff. And she writes her own script, and she basically brings it up to, I believe, one of her bosses. And they like her idea, but they changed her main character, who's a lesbian, into being straight. And she was not okay with that. So she goes and she wants to fight back on this decision and this change. Also, did I mention that he tried to pass it off as his own idea, not hers? So that's a whole other thing. But I'm really excited. I really want to read this book soon. I want to maybe read it next month. We'll see how this goes. But I need to read. I need to get on to that. All right, number 4, most anticipated released for the rest of the year. I would say for that it's going to be Of Ice and Shadows by Audrey Coulthurst. This is the second book in the, is it the Ice and Fires, or sorry, Of Fire and Stars series? I don't know. I read Of Fire and Stars when it came, I think I read it at the beginning of 2017, and I loved it. That book was so great, and I just want to read more of it. I want to read the sequel, and right now I'm rereading the first book just so I can get accustomed and ready for it, but I'm hyped. I'm excited. I don't actually remember when it comes out. I want to say August, September. It comes out this year. That's all I know. All right, number 5, biggest disappointment. I have 2 answers for this because these were huge disappointments to me. Number 1 was Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nagan. I really didn't like this book. It was just not for me, and I had hyped it up in my head saying it was going to be like my favorite book of all time and kind of thing, which it wasn't for me. Other one is My Brother's Husband by Gregoro Tagame. I really don't like this manga series. I don't think it's very good. Don't think it's well written or well translated. It's not a good story, and I think what got to me is just the hype of everybody was like, oh my god, this is so freaking amazing, it's the best manga ever. Oh my gosh, when it really isn't. So it's kind of mediocre at best. So yeah, not into this. Number 6 is the biggest surprise, and I would have to say it's The Chalkman by CJ Tudor. I'm always surprised when I like mystery thrillers. I don't know what it is. This one just hits different. And this book basically is people compare it a lot to Stranger Things, which I've never seen. I've watched, I think, the first episode, and I thought it was pretty mediocre. Ooh, unpopular opinion. I don't know. Stranger Things just doesn't interest me. It doesn't look interesting at all to me. So, I know it takes place at 2 different times with the same character. So one in 1986 and one in 2016. It was so good, and I'm still surprised I liked it so much, but I'm glad I did. And I definitely want to pick up more things from this author. Number 7 is a favorite new author, which, I don't know. For me to make someone a favorite author, I've had to read at least 2 books from them. And a lot of people I've read this year I've only read 1 book from them. So I can only say so many things that either their other books don't interest me or it was their debut. I mean, like, I definitely want to read more from Hafsa Faizal. I really liked her writing in this book. I would also want to read more from Renee Watson and probably more from CJ Tudor. So I guess those are new favorite authors to me. I don't know. Alright, number 8, newest fictional crush. I have 2, and they're both in the same book. Hey, look at me bringing up this book multiple times in this video. I am literally in love with Nazir and Zafira and Altair. I would. Not just the relationship, but I'm just in love with them individually as well. I'm just like, yes. I just love them. I just love them. Number 9, your newest favorite character. I have to go like completely different, but I'm gonna say Jack from Jack of Hearts and Other Parts by, I think it was L.C. Rosen. But Jack was such a nicely written character. It was so nice to read a character in a YA who doesn't hide from admitting they're like, yeah, I like sex, what's wrong with that kind of thing. That was so refreshing for me to read because it's never like that, and it was just so nice to read that from our main character. And he didn't shame other people for either choosing to wait till they're married or choosing to wait until they find the right person to have sex with. Like, they were just, he is just, I really liked him as a character. And I would also read more from that author. Number 10, a book that made you cry. So the most recent book I can remember in recollection that's made me cry is Watch Us Rise by Renee Watson and Ellen Hagen. Ooh, there is a scene, well, it's like a couple pages, like that made me sob. It's about like 3/4 of the way through, and if you know the premise of this book and you know, like, going into it, I don't want to spoil exactly what it is, but you will. I expected it from the beginning, and it happened and fucking shattered me. fucking shattered me. Number 11, a book that made you happy. Every time I think about this manga, it just it brings a nice smile on my face. I'm gonna say Toradora Volume 1. It's just so freaking cute, and I just want to continue on with the rest. But the series is still checked out from that one person at the library. I'm gonna fucking hurry up. Number 12, the most beautiful book you've bought. I'm gonna show it. It's beautiful for two different reasons. So I'm gonna be showing up The Binding by Bridget Collins. Why I think this is also beautiful. First of all, it's really beautiful. But this is actually a misprint. So there's actually supposed to be the title right here, but I found this at Half Price Books, and it was misprinted. There's no, like, you could see, I don't know if you guys can see that, but you could see that there is, like, it's supposed to have the binding, it just doesn't have the gold lettering that normally goes with it. I'll put up a photo of what it's supposed to look like, but I find it so much prettier just because of that, so I had to buy it. And it's just, look at how pretty she is. Also, the spine is pretty, and underneath is pretty. Like, she's just pretty. She's got deckled edges. Like, she's a pretty bitch. I'm sorry. She is a pretty ass bitch. Last question, number 13. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? 2 books, actually. In anticipation for Of Ice and Shadows, I need to finish Of Fire and Stars, which is my reread. I'm listening to that audiobook right now, so I should finish that roughly soon. I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, I know what happens. I'm just getting myself, like, used to it with the characters and stuff like that. I also need to read Ink Mistress, which is the prequel, which I have not read yet, and I need to. So I'm excited to read that one as well. But yeah, that's it. That is my mid-year book freakout tag. Let me know if you guys have done this tag. I would like to watch other people's, even though I'm pretty sure everyone and their mother has done this tag already. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.